Welcome back to Bright Future STEM Academy, and in addition, welcome back to Scratch Programming. Today we're going to finally make a game. This will be a 3-part series in which we'll make a game very similar to Fruit Ninja. So let's get started. So let's get rid of this character right here, and let's choose a fruit. So let's go to food, and we can choose apples, bananas, orange, fruit platter, strawberries, watermelon. Let's go with the apples. So I have the apple, and we need something to chop it with. So we can use anything. So we'll just find something. Now again, you can choose anything. For now, we'll choose a microphone. So with the apple, once this microphone hits the apple, we want it to burst to have some fun with it. So let's go to costumes, and we'll make a new, choose a costume. Oh, oops. Stay on page. So let's just erase this here. We'll take the eraser, erase all of this. Yep. And we'll take the pencil. Let's go to the pencil and obviously have it red. So we'll go to the red. And now over here, we just want to make a splatter type of shape. So we'll do this. We'll just make it red as the apple is red. And let's do the paint bucket and put red inside of it. Yep. And we'll call this splatter. Or we'll call this, yeah, we'll call it splatter apple. Splatter dash apple. Alright, enter. And now let's write some code for this. So with the microphone, we want to make it have some mobility and move around to catch targets. So and so. So we'll go with the events as usual. The events always control everything that happens in the code. So we'll do this, and to make everything even, once we press the green flag, we want to make it start at the center so it has an equal chance of going to wherever. So we'll go to the motion and go to x, y, but instead of negative 16 and negative 51, we'll make it 0, 0. So if you press this, it'll start right in the center where it's supposed to be. And to make it fair, so we'll have to use a loop in this case, which we haven't used much, but we'll use it this time. So we'll use a loop, and we'll use an if-then statement. Now what we'll use this for is its mobility. So let's do if key, now the right arrow. And again, this is if the right arrow key is pressed, we want to make it move to the right. So we'll go to motion, and which axis makes it go to the right or left or horizontal side? Yes, the x-axis. So we'll do change x, and we'll do change x by 10. Now we'll go back to the ifs, if and if-then statements. We'll add another one, and we'll do key pressed once again. But in this case, we'll do left arrow. And now this time, we want the microphone to move to the left. So we'll go to motion and change x by negative 10. So this time, it'll move to the left. Now if we press the green arrow here, the green flag, we can see that the microphone is moving to the left and right. So we press the right arrow a couple of times, moving to the right. If we press the left arrow a couple of times, moving to the left. So now we want it to move up and down, but how do we do that? Once again, we go to the control, we choose our if-thens, go to keys, add the key pressed, but in this case, we'll do the up arrow. Now to move it up and down, which axis would we need? The x or y axis? To move in the vertical direction. Yes, we need the y-axis direction. So we'll have to do change y by 10, and we go back to the control events, go to if then, we go to sensing, and we go to the key pressed option, and we choose the down arrow. Now what this allows us to do is let the microphone have some mobility, so it can move around throughout the code. And for it to move downwards in the y-axis, we make it -10. Now I press stop. Now that I press this, I can make the microphone move anywhere that I want. Anywhere. Yep. Now, if it hits the apple, how do I make it burst? Well, we'd have to go over there. So now we have to write the code for the apple. So we'll go to costumes and make sure you're at the apple one, apple costume for the code. If we choose the splatter one, we can get the code mixed up a bit. So we want to stay on the apple. Now in this case, we have to go to when the green flag is pressed, and we want to make it move in random places. So we would have to go to random position, when flag is pressed. But in this case, when we put it like this, it only goes to random position when the green flag is pressed, but we don't want that. So we would have to go to events and choose a loop, we would have to go to control and choose a loop, which is the forever, and we want to go to random position. Now what this makes the apple do is go to a random position so we'll go to what this allows us to do is let the apple stay at a certain location for a certain time and not let the user have a lot of time to get to the apple to even strike it. So we want to go to a random position, but every 5 seconds. So we need a timer. Now I want to do wait, and then we'll make it 3. So if we press the green flag, 2, 3, once again it goes to a new position, 1, 2, 3, again, 1, 2, 3, it goes to another position again. This allows the user to have not a lot of time to get to the position, but enough time to even get to it. We'll decrease it to 2.5 to have more fun with it, why not? And now in this case, we want to go to the splattered apple, or we can say the apple actually. So we can go back to the events and choose when the green flag is pressed. But in this case, we want to do a switch costume block, so we'll have to use the looks and switch costume. What this is for is when the microphone hits the apple, it can change into this costume right here, which lets us have more fun with it. So when this happens, now in this case we want an if-then statement. If the microphone is touching the apple, then switch costume is splatter apple. So we'll go right here, and now we'll do if touching, but we don't want mouse pointer, we want the variable. So in this case, if touching edge, microphone. So let's go back to the apple code for a second, and we'll go to sensing right here. Or no, sorry, the control. And we want to go right here. And we want to do if on edge bounce. So this allows it to not go past these borders as much. We can take it out actually. Touching, okay. If touching microphone. As we can see, the microphone options here, which is this right here. So we can do switch costume to splatter apple. So what this means is when the green flag is pressed, as we move the microphone, if it's touching the apple, it will switch the costume into the splatter apple costume right here. But we want to make a more easier target. So we want to do if the space bar is touching, or when the space bars touch on it, then it changes into the splatter apple. So in this case, we'll have to use this one right here when the space bar is pressed. So when the space key is pressed, as we move it around, it'll change into the splatter apple right there, as you can see there. So as you can see, the splatter apple is still there. So if we want it to come back, we'll have to put that into the code. So when the green flag is pressed, we want to make the looks switch costume back to the normal apple. As you can see, it's back to normal apple. 1, 2, 3, and it changes in position. So, and we can also move the microphone. So as we move it around, I can easily get to the target. And once I press the space key on it, it changes into the splattered apple. And we can end the code right there. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.